Because I was telling him.
Are you ready? Nah. I guess we'll go ahead and get started, so everyone can go home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and as the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Okay, so we will move on to the approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for, for tonight, sorry. It's been a long day, guys.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Mrs. Esquivel, seconded by Mr. Plowman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Item number 3, approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of October 21st, 2024.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes for October 21st.
I will second. Motion by Mrs. Esquivel, seconded by all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. We will move on to item number 4, reports.
So any questions on the operation reports for Brian? Any questions on that at all?
Are the smart boards with that list that we have?
Yeah, they're on the
Okay.
bond.
And then Rob with Better IT. Have you heard from him? I thought you did because I saw the report that you spoke to him.
We may have another contact for you.
We tried 2 other mentors and, yeah,
And I think
we're
we
just waiting. It's
think,
tough to get anybody to do small projects like that.
and I can't speak for him, but he hasn't shown up. So, and I don't know if his other or his workers could help you out.
We could reach out to Kim.
Yeah.
If we don't hear anything, then we'll go with somebody else.
Okay.
And the new activity bus is awesome. I really like it. It's super nice.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. We'll move on to building reports. We'll start with Serena.
Okay. We're going really fast.
Well, you told us.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready. Our focus is just thriving through the holidays, and we're working on our progress monitoring with our small groups. We really want to make sure that those are implemented because that's really going to drive the kids that are low or high or medium a little further. And we have a lot of engagements. Please join us on our adult inflatable costume race. It'll be at 2:00 on Thursday. Come and meet the teachers. I just want to give a big old staff shout out to RBT because we moved from CSI, which is an underperforming school, to traditional. And it was all through their, yeah. It was a big accomplishment, and it was all through their hard work and dedication and commitment. And we're just moving along and getting a lot of training with all the money that we received from the grants from being an underperforming school, which we'll be missing, but well worth the money we got.
Yes.
So that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your guys' hard work. Yes.
And Raquel is not here, so any questions on those?
When is the spelling bee?
She had no dates on here, does she?
No, I was reading it again to make sure.
I'll shoot it out in an email tomorrow. I don't remember the date offhand.
Okay.
Do you know, Sue, when the spelling bee is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get the dates. Okay, Scott?
Good evening, board members. President Sal, again, Dr. Lucas. Just some of the things that have been going on at the high school. Western came by a couple of weeks ago, helped support the kids sign up for their college classes for next semester. So they sent 3 people out, which was nice. It kind of made everything a little bit easier. Mr. Holly took a group of students to Redoso this past weekend for another quiz bowl. Kids had a good time, competed. We didn't, qualify for the nationals this year, but, we'll be getting some other quiz bowls. But the, kids did real well, they said. Jody Curtin and Margaret, Chavez, yeah. Sorry, Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret Chavez, because they're always around, I should know it, but they had a mental health awareness night at LHS last week. They showed a video of a student that had committed suicide, and whoever was there, whoever attended, it was real nice. And we're trying to work it out to maybe we kind of show it to, I don't know how we're gonna work it, but show it to
Students.
everybody, and the students, in the classes and stuff. Try to shorten the video or get the shortened version so they can actually have time to talk about things. DACC in Eastern New Mexico came by to talk with the seniors. Eastern was here a couple weeks ago. DACC came last week, talked to the seniors just about, the opportunities they have there at the school. New Mexico, or NMSU's on to bring their agricultural program over. I've talked to the guy there, and we'll get that set up to just to kind of talk to kids about a different perspective that maybe they hadn't even thought of. So that'll be good. DWI, they come once a month, meet with the seniors and just kind of discuss things. But what they have been doing also, they've been giving away games. So what they do is they just pull like 3 names out of a hat for the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I think last week they did the juniors. And all it is they give the student a game, and they're supposed to go home and play the game with the family and take a picture. Just show family and community involvement. And if they do that, then they send it to DWI, and they're in the running for a $500 grand prize. Sad thing is that nobody's taking a picture and sent it to them. So I guess so if the game gets cold, make sure you go home and take a picture of the family.
Chances are good. Yes, chances are good.
And other than that, we're just continuing with our Friday school, and then, after school tutoring, and everything else is just get ready for the break and coming back and trying to get things tied up before we go to another break. So just remember that fall break.
Yeah.
After the first 9 weeks, keep it in your head.
I had a question.
Yes.
Is it possible that we could take our students, like seniors, to like job fairs?
It's possible.
So they could, okay. So they could like, in case if they're not
We
like,
took them to Western
Not just like, for those that
Like
don't
further
wanna
away?
go to college,
Uh-huh.
like, maybe we can take them to job fairs and see, like, maybe they're interested in doing something else and going to college, just to give that, opportunity
Right.
that there's more than just
Or
staying at
FMI.
home and.
FMI doesn't have a program like that or anything for that?
Oh, I don't know, I just thought, well, maybe job fairs.
Maybe they're
was-
a big.
I don't know, but we haven't had a job fair, I think before COVID, they had a job fair, but we haven't had any job fairs even come here,
Mhm.
like, where they've set up in the gym before, since COVID.
I know
Yeah.
Edgar had reached out to me, Edgar Gomez, and wanted to see if we could do like tours or something, take our kids over there, do something with Freeport, something, so they
That'd be
could
good.
Even
see that.
Even to take them out to Playas to see what they're doing out there, because that is very
It's nice.
interesting what they're doing and the different.
And of
to
course,
teach
we
them the different
welcome
stuff.
Freeport and let people to come talk to us.
Okay.
I believe,
They could bring a booth or something like it, they could bring something.
I'll reach
I
out.
believe Playas is coming, right, to do
The science fair, right? This Thursday?
STEAM.
It's Wednesday,
Wednesday.
but it's not in the evening no more, it's gonna be during the day.
Oh,
Just because we didn't. like,
So we can have more kids there?
Our participation wasn't as grand as we wanted it to be, so we're not gonna make it an evening event.
What time is that at?
It's gonna be fourth period and seventh period, so that would be,
Oh, before lunch and after.
yeah.
Before school ends. I'll be there.
How many kids do we usually get on Friday school? 5 to 10, 10 to 15,
0 to 5.
0 to 5?
Any other questions?
Thank you for continuing on with this. Thank you.
What's your-
Thinking the job fair thing right now in my mind, taking off my rank and you can fence building.
There you go.
I guess it's child labor out there.
Start them young.
Okay, I sent you guys an actual fixed copy of the girls' basketball schedule. I don't know if you guys get that. I had a date, because we changed obviously we could not have our hatch tournament on Thanksgiving weekend. It's kind of obvious, and no one caught that, and I didn't catch that, and so we had to move it back down, so, it's the same time as our boys going to Tier C. I think the schedule we have is good, though. Now, it did change again today, though. Animus has no JV. We don't know about JV girls yet, we might have to cancel that one too. So just be heads up on it. Speaking of basketballs too, man, it's like, we're in the same boat as we are every year with no JV refs. No, I don't have a single JV ref for as far as I can see right now, so we're gonna be struggling trying to find local people to ref games, Johnny. So it's one of those, yeah.
Play basketball.
Yeah, it's one of those, we are gonna do a
I have a
training,
daughter that's playing.
they're gonna do the training, we're gonna have over a shop, try to train some people local, if they wanna get trained, so we can actually pay them like Dragonfly and stuff like that. We'll see, we'll keep doing our best, I know, he always helps us, so we'll probably go with that too.
You know the dates for the training?
He's sending it to me today, and I'm gonna give it to you so you can email it out to everyone. We'll try to email it out to the whole community, because, and actually, like, we have a couple people who approach me that want to be varsity refs, so that'll help us. Go
There's
ahead.
a guy right there, Chris Columbus. He reps for the Pell Games.
Yeah, honestly, I think you should go to that fifth one too.
Yeah.
Because the junior high, if you think it's hard at JV, junior high is impossible. And so what we wanna do is we wanna get our younger people reffing the games, and we'll put, like Bob Hill with them, and then get the younger guys to start getting training. We have some of our seniors, we have Zeke, your son, just wants to enter Isaac, a lot of those kids. So hopefully they go to the training, in fifth, and like I said, he'll email me a flyer on that, and then the boss is gonna send that out to everyone. Football, volleyball, I thought we did okay. We got better throughout the year. I think we could have competed with anyone with the exception of Melrose. And that's just, I'm being honest. They're really, really good this year. Probably one of the better teams I've seen in 2 and 8 man. But I think everyone else in 8 man, I think we could have played with any of them. Unfortunately, we matched up with them right off the bat. And then volleyball, first time since I think 2014. We did playoffs and we did really good. I think our girls were kind of shell shocked at the first game, and then they came out and they really played good the second game. And by the time we got right back to back, played again, we kind of ran out of legs. And yeah, but I definitely put our girls, top 6 in the state, if not higher than that. There's a couple good teams that played. Our district also played for the state, the championship. Our district football played 3 of the top 4, and then now the 2 is all in our district. So we're in tough. I mean, they ain't like we're playing slouches. Scheduling. Yeah, the animus thing. Oh, and then also, I might have, Cliff is another question mark too. They made out of the JV too. And then obviously we'll find out with us, we're starting basketball full throttle today. We'll see if we get numbers too, and that's kind of where we are right now. But I'm expecting good things. I think you guys are gonna be pleasantly surprised with our basketball teams, both boys and girls. Junior high's already started basketball. They're starting off on fire. Our future, guys, it's nice. Having waves, we've got a huge wave coming. I'm telling you, our girls down below us and our 7th grade boys and stuff, we got a big wave coming. And boys are gonna be pretty solid for quite a while. I don't see our girls not being competitive for many, many years. So we'll see. Yeah. Anything for me? I know it's been a long time since I've been here, and I'm sorry on that.
I just have one,
Go ahead.
or maybe 2.
Go ahead.
Is it possible to get the dates on the state tournament in case if they do make it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
If
yeah.
you can, please.
No, it wouldn't have been hard. It just type in NMAA state practice and they'll
Yeah.
have the date.
Well, just
on
the
those
dates,
teams.
yeah, just.
Yeah.
Just so they can make plans in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, go ahead.
and then the second thing is, I know you oversee junior high, Mr. Munoz, right?
Mhm.
On the Animus games, can you make sure, because for volleyball, for many years, they never have like a 7th grade team, and then all of a sudden they have a 7th grade team going over there, and I feel like that's not fair because our girls are, wanting to play
Yeah,
too.
one thing.
So if we could make sure like we're only taking our 8th graders if we're gonna take 8th graders, and that's it.
Right, not take seventh graders and stuff.
Yeah, because like to me, I'm like, why didn't you do it here in Lordsburg, but yeah, we're doing over there in Animus?
Yeah. Well, I think that on there, I can't speak for Adams, I speak for any other teams. There are a lot of situations that come up, obviously, if they have an injury or something, they jump kids up and they have to cancel the lower program that week and so on. There's a lot of excuses, like for instance, Mississippi Valley, by the way, junior high, that's been postponed. We're gonna redate that because, they're playing for the state championship in football and they're not gonna have any of their kids for basketball because they have 8th graders playing up on the football team. And so, yeah, they had to reschedule that. I mean, there's lots of things on there I think that are out of Coach Menoz's control. It's hard, I just think as me personally, I just remember which teams kind of do that to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that because it's the same thing with our tournament. I had to let a team out of our boys basketball tournament because we had 9 and I had left them out because they left us hanging 2 years straight. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I got to get the teams I know are going to be here.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that, but that is kind of what you got to do sometimes. So, and we do have 8 teams in our tournament, so we'll see. In our boys tournament, and I'm doing that. I have the bracket done. I'm just waiting for DJ to get their approval on that. And so by the next board meeting, you'll probably have a copy of that with the statute bracket. And I guess the next thing too I could do, and I'm sorry on this, I could probably send you guys the brackets for our tournaments too, because I get those too. I'll start attaching that. I don't know why I don't, but I just thought of that. Yeah, because we have the brackets for that the tournaments they're getting ready to go to right now.
Okay.
I'll try to do that. I don't know why I haven't done that before. Any other questions on there?
No, thank you. I'm just.
Guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come watch our boys and our girls play basketball. It'll be fun.
And then last report's truancy. At RBT and DTMS, we had a total of 35 parent contacts for October. And then at the high school, we had 26. And that's a combination of phone calls and letters through mail out. The numbers don't seem to be as bad as they were last year. So hopefully,
They look a little better.
any questions on that?
No.
Okay. And that's all on the reports.
Do you have public forum,
No,
Board of Education issues?
just a couple of reminders, the annual convention, which, does anybody here know they're gonna go to that one in December?
I can't know. I'm for sure going in February.
Are you gonna go to the December?
Make sure my calls. December, I'll be there.
You'll be there at the December one? Okay. Well, either one of you need a car or?
You're good. I'm probably gonna fly up there soon.
And then
Nadine doesn't even invite you. Hey, you wanna fly with me down there or something, huh?
just keep in back of your mind too, the February Board Member Institute. Our hotel at the December one, the Embassy Suites was booked, or at the Doubletree Inn, which is like a mile next one. Yeah,
It's a little more downtown.
yeah, it's more downtown, but it's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So,
And the one in February? Where's that one?
I've got it at the Hilton there where they actually run the shuttles from.
Like last time?
Yeah, last time we stayed at the one across the one.
Oh, yeah,
fancy one,
Eldorado.
Eldorado.
Mhm.
But we did the Hilton there just because there was nothing at the
Yeah.
Eldorado. It was
So I walk from Eldorado to the Hilton.
To get the shuttle.
Yeah. And then the convention center is right behind so it's still gonna be a walk either way. But the shuttles run
Yeah,
to the roundhouse from Hilton.
yeah, for sure I'm going to that one.
Me too. And this is the long session.
It's a long
Yes.
session, yes. Okay,
Item number 7, consent agenda. The A, approval of accounts payable and payroll liability transactions.
any questions on any of the chart?
We're not used to it. Let's put our accounts
Yeah.
on the spot. Just kidding.
First time here.
I'm just kidding.
Right, so it wasn't like that.
I'm just playing. No, I don't have any.
I didn't have any.
I make a motion to approve accounts payable and payroll liability.
Have a second. Motion by Mrs. Esquivel, seconded by Mrs. Cole. All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Were you asleep on that part or what?
Kind of.
Wake up.
Okay, B, approval of budget adjustment request.
Right, so we have 2 bars today. One is a decreased bar award for $467. And the other is initial budget on a school infrastructure grant. It's part of last year. This is just kind of initial budget for this year, $865.41. So, and that's for kitchen infrastructure. Any questions on either one of those?
No, sir.
Okay.
I will make a motion to accept the bars as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Cole, seconded by Mrs. Esquivel. All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. We'll move on to item number 8, discussion items. Superintendent evaluation.
Right. Do we want to keep the same form online like we've done the past?
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that's-
So we'll get that email to you, the link,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can probably look at doing it in January, I guess. That's what it says in the policy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that way you'll have a couple of months to have access to it and work on it.
That's good.
Okay.
And then bond projects.
Right, so we have about $400,000 left in our bond. So these are just things that we're looking at. To redo the baseball field, $700,000, which there's not really been enough left in the bond to cover that. But there's enough left to cover everything else, I think, on the bottom, and have a little bit left over. I didn't do the math, but, yeah.
It's
We'll have quite a
237.
bit, yeah. So we're not allowed to use the bond monies And that'll be discussed later, but we're not allowed to use the bond monies for the bus. So we'll discuss that on, I think it's the next.
Would it be possible, Susie brought up earlier about improving the ticket booth at the baseball field? Is that something we could add? At least add some paint or something so it
Yeah,
doesn't
we
just
can
look like
do
a little
that.
shack out there.
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
and that should be something the bond should cover, I mean, it's improvement to school facilities.
Can
Oh,
I say something?
Mr.
I'm sorry.
They're
No,
dancing.
you're fine.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if we're gonna be able to charge for baseball, because if we're gonna do softball over here, we can't charge for softball, so that's something just to give you guys heads up.
Yeah, that's
So
what I thought
baseball,
about.
softball, we might not be charging, because 3 years you can't, people just walk around, there's nowhere to fix out, so if we're gonna do that, that's something that probably gonna have to discuss later. Anyway,
And we're still not sure whether we're gonna be allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's on
not,
the works.
right now, it's kind of, yeah.
With the city, yeah.
we'll work on that too.
Yeah.
Feedback on that.
But yeah, we need to paint that.
Yeah, it does look like just an abandoned shack out there.
Yeah,
Or an easier access for her to not be like going in and
Right,
out
right.
and out.
yeah, no, we can do some improvement, we can get an estimate, get that on there.
That would just.
I actually think we put it on the other side. So when you drive up on the driver's side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good idea.
we'll get Balthazar to look at it and see what we can do.
I would say if we could do all the items, not except the baseball field,
Mhm.
to go ahead and do all the items listed, plus if we can get new bathroom stalls for RBT to be added on there as well.
I think that one's the school that hasn't had any updates on their bathrooms,
It's
right?
been a while.
Yeah, they've been the same since I was there.
Toilets and stalls, or
What was that?
toilets and stalls?
I would say mostly more toilets wise. Even in the teacher's lounge, because sometimes I go and use that for pickle and popcorn. A little paint will do, you know?
They need
Okay.
facelifts.
Yeah, little facelifts, please.
Okay,
I think, because I think DTMS, that's fairly new, and of course high school is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe a little remodel.
Okay.
Facelift like the Susie said,
okay.
to those, because I don't think they've been changed in a
Yeah.
while.
And I really think we'll have enough money left
There's some left over.
to,
Yeah, like
Do all
the
that.
classroom smart boards is for all schools, the smart boards, like
what did you quote that for?
for 50,000?
Yeah, it falls right about 13 classrooms. So we
For
already
13
have 4 at RBT,
Okay,
which started kind of moving
Mhm.
the teachers wanting.
and so everybody will have that
We just
there.
don't want to put them in classrooms where teachers aren't going to use it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have some of those, so it will cover about 13 classrooms with that.
And
And do you guys give them like an option if they want that or not? Or,
Yeah, so it'll make it expensive.
yeah, because if they don't want to use it, we don't want to put it in
Throw it
there.
out there.
I was
I mean, 'cause it's yeah.
hopefully the sound system for the field, we could get that, cause poor speaker is gonna about to blow up there. So the cafeteria tables, is it gonna be the same tables like long
Different,
wise?
they don't want,
They don't want,
There's not a whole lot of options. There's always the long ones with the individual seats, but we get more space with just the long instead of the individual seats. I mean, sure, who doesn't want a back and,
oh yeah.
but we need to upgrade.
But anything to be updated, they send them their phone out.
They're super heavy.
They are heavy.
and then on bond, something to consider for the baseball and even possible softball. We need to start thinking about going back out for bond again. Because this has been, I don't remember when we got this one, it's been a few years, and we're at the end of its cycle, so it's something that we will start
And those
talking about.
turfs are like 10 years, right? Like,
About, so
about-
the baseball field is at the end of its,
Okay.
toward the end of its lifespan.
I think it's 2013.
Oh, 2013, yeah, it's the 13 years.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of time, but not a lot.
Would that be something that would be on the ballot for the next?
The bond, I think, is, they do it by special election,
Yeah.
so we do the mail,
But the mail-in ballot.
the mail in.
Oh, okay.
And I think it would be in February, isn't it? Isn't that when they,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, it's in February.
because we have a school election this coming year, right?
Although we could put it, is there a
Put it-
We
provision?
can do it as a question on the ballot, yes. we
Yeah,
can.
so when is that?
I think ballot questions should be in by February, if I'm not mistaken, February.
Well, that would be, for the ballot, would be
In November.
for November of,
Next year for
okay.
the.
So I'm getting in contact with our bond company and see what we needed to do. And we'll put it on the agenda to discuss further next month.
And I'll get you dates.
Okay.
Especially if we can keep, keeping our teachers with what they need and our students, all of them.
Yeah.
Keeping the campuses
Safe.
updated and
Mhm.
safe and with the proper equipments that they need to
Yes, ma'am.
utilize, especially with all these changes that come every year.
Yeah,
And I was thinking about, the city, if they decide to work with us. I was just thinking like money left over. Just have it saved or something to see like,
right, because we would need to contribute or do something.
if they ask us.
Right.
That's what I was thinking too.
Because the initial proposal was we were gonna do
The school board.
scoreboards, about $100,000 or $150,000 worth of work, but
Didn't want it. Well, hopefully we can bring that back up to the table and discuss it with them. I know there's a new president out there. For the Little League.
Little League,
Mhm.
okay.
For Little League, there's a new president, because they already talked to me to go to the meetings and vote for stuff.
So, yeah,
So I'm like, you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor.
Alrighty, we'll move on to C.
right, the school report cards are out. So I just did a real little quick, just to go over. It's not, I just put scores just so I can have quick link, to.
You just wanted to click through your slideshow.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's not more. Pulled up on mine, it's not going over there. Why is that not going over there?
Maybe we could like switch the
Thanks.
board.
Let me see.
Oh, it's 'cause you-
Is it because I'm on the show? Yeah, let me do it this way.
It's hard for them to see.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's because you were in the start from the beginning.
Right, and so I won't do the show. Each one. I'll
You have it
do
opened up, right?
Right, no, no, no. See, it brings it up, there it is, yeah. It just, when it's in the show, it only shows the show, it doesn't show the internet. Or the slideshow, whatever. But anyway, so this is New Mexico Vistas. And I was gonna do a nice little report, put it on a graph, but this is much easier than having to create my own graphs. So, and then this is what the public sees, this is what everybody sees. And this is our scorecard, and I have it broken down for each campus. And it gives our proficiency scores. So math, very poor district-wide on math, 10%. And you click, and it compares like, and you can see the state's blue, we're orange. We're about half of what the state is for theirs in overall math proficiency. We did have 98% participation rate in the testing. And then there's other data that's not available yet that'll be out in January. And that's math for the district. But you can come down here, and then there's growth. And if you want to kick here, we're actually a little bit ahead in several items as far as the growth our students met during the course of last year. So even though our scores are low, our percentage of growth was a little higher than what the state average was. So we had a 51% overall math growth. And they'd say anything in the 34 to 66% represents a year's growth typical. So our growth was really good in math, just our overall score was not good. So we are improving. And then reading, we were at 38%. Again, really close with the state. Some categories we were higher than, some we were right even with. But and this is just as a district, it's combined of all schools. And then if you look at the growth, we're 60th overall. We exceeded the state in almost every instance as far as reading growth for the year.
And this is for
Last-
DTMS and high school?
This is combined RBT, DTMS, and we'll get to each campus slowly or in a minute, but the district's the only one that has growth, the others don't have the growth yet, so. But so as a district, we have shown, and we're ahead of the state in reading growth. Graduation rate dropped a little bit. 74 or 75.4% overall 4-year graduation rate, jumps up to 83.6 for the 5-year. That's the kids that didn't graduate, then came back the next year and graduated. And then it does a 6-year. So overall, it's down 0.8%. And that'll vary from year to year because somebody withdraws to a homeschool or whatever it counts as a dropout, basically. So even though they,
And what percentage do we need to be at? Like,
well, so
I know
there's
it's a
not, I mean,
negative
right now it
0.8.
just gives our overall, and we're about, if you look, we're really close to the state, the state average. And it needs to be higher, but we're pretty close. And then our district science was at 36%. And again, pretty close. Some areas, overall, we were a couple percentage points, actually less than, looks like, what, half a percentage point difference overall between the state and what our science was. Some areas we were scored a little better. And they don't have a growth in science, so we can't tell. Okay, so that's the district. Now we'll go to RV trailer. And so they have a school distinction of being a structured literacy school. And this is kind of a bar graph and where they fall. They're almost right in the middle of between need support and great.
that's an improvement from last
yes,
year.
yes,
Completely
yes.
last year.
Yeah.
We were at 33.1.
Yeah. And so math proficiency, RT had the best math scores. They had 13%, which, and then put New Mexico up there. So again, RT's doing better than the district, but we're still need to catch up to the state. And that's just campus-wide in math.
And that's beginning of last year,
Yeah,
right?
from 23,
August.
24, yeah.
And
From
then they
August
do it again.
through to the testing last April. Was it April the testing was? What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so math growth, they do have growth, 44% overall. If you compare it to the state, they weren't quite up to the state in some. Females were
I
well
know,
above the state.
that's what Lee and Susie are talking about.
Yeah,
Females.
Yeah.
I think it's just the maturity
The
maybe.
boys
of
don't
some.
have the
Yeah.
attention
The
span
females.
is
Yeah.
maybe.
That's the way it is at the high school.
And then reading proficiency, 35%. Again, putting New Mexico in there, pretty close. And those that don't have anything, we don't have enough of that student population to count in the, so that it doesn't separate them out by ethnicity.
But it doesn't like affect us, right? Like with their,
Well, like
like
say,
it doesn't take accountability that we don't have like.
right,
that
no, that doesn't
ethnicity.
affect us. It just goes into our overall score. Like
Okay.
you only had one student of a particular ethnicity, it wouldn't show up under that ethnicity, but it would count in our overall score. So again, in reading, it's pretty close all the way through. Because there's not much, even though sometimes the bars look like there's a lot of difference, it's not really. Between arbitrator,
It's 3%.
yeah, it's 3%. So, I mean, it's not a big difference. And then reading growth, again, RBT outperformed the state in growth. So, even though the scores are not there, there's a lot of positives in the amount of growth that's taking place. Yeah. And then RBT doesn't have science, so. And we had to break it out into two different schools. Since last year they were separate. Next year they should be different, but Central, they're at 47.3, so right about right where RBT is. Math proficiency, 10%. And again, comparing it to the state, we're way off. But when we come down to growth, it exceeds the state. And then reading, 38%. Kick in New Mexico, very close overall, yeah. And then growth, again, comparing to New Mexico, we've exceeded the state by quite a bit. Or I say quite a bit, it's just a few percentage points, but. Okay, and then DTMS. They're at 52.4, a little on the other side of the middle. Math proficiency is only 9%. They had the lowest math score. But they don't have a lot of data. They don't even have the growth that we can check on the math, but
Couple less studies.
Allergic to math.
yeah. Reading proficiency, they did really well at 43, I said at 43%, which again is higher than the district average, it's higher than the state average. So that our DTMS's reading was pretty good. And then science was at 25%. And compared to the state, we're a little lower in science compared to the state. And then the high school, they're at 60.3. Math proficiency is less than or equal to 10%. Again, it's the same as the whole district. I mean, there's nothing different here. Reading proficiency, 34%. A little lower than the state average, and overall, females were quite a bit higher, even, so it's like a trend. But, and in science proficiency, they had 55%, which I was quite a bit higher than the state. So they did really well in science. We already went over graduation rate, but this one, we don't have any ELLs, so there's nothing to explore there. College and career readiness, they had 97.1. They're really good at college and career readiness, which is the CTE classes. And you can see, like, compared to the state, we're almost twice as high as what the state average is on that. So kudos to them for that. And then regular attendance at the high school, 62.8%. And that's students, that's the percentage of students that were there 90% of the time or more. And that's pretty much the district. And the whole state struggles with that. I mean, it's not much difference. It's pretty flat across the state. Right about there. So that is our scorecard. We're a traditional district. Every campus is traditional. There are a couple of higher, there are several lower, but so we're just right in the middle. And hopefully we'll continue to improve. We'll focus on math. Yeah.
And you said these are based on participation, so if they have a high number of absentee that day, then that's so.
Well, so that's one metric that's scored. Like, they'll let us know, like, you had 95% of your students take the test. The goal is 100% of the students to take the test, but it doesn't affect, like, they only give the percentage of those that were there to take it.
Okay.
So, like, our grade is based on those that took it, but those that are absent could hurt or help the test, depending on how they score.
And for math, is it like the material, do we need to research other material that could be
Well,
easier for our kids to?
didn't we get
Sometimes
new
I
math
wonder we're
material at
changing it too
RBT?
much.
We have new MBT, we're in the process of changing and
So-
going and,
So we didn't really have like a consistency in our math. So we got a new math curriculum last year, but it got fully implemented this year. So there should be a lot more consistency and a lot more.
and then DTMS, high school, the math curriculum is what, 2 or 3 years old?
Yeah,
So
it's all
it-
the way across the board that they're all struggling,
Yeah,
so that we gotta figure something out.
Struggling a lot.
Yeah, struggling a lot. There's something. in
So like,
Yeah.
for the fifth graders, they're using the curriculum that RBT uses, or are they using something different?
they should have gotten
They
what?
got the same
It's
curriculum.
It's the
Yeah.
same? Okay.
So they got new curriculum.
And what is the brand name of the curriculum?
It's Carnegie, but
Carnegie.
it's called Clear Math.
I mean,
Cause I knew that she had.
And
said
the high school
change
uses Carnegie too, correct? Or is it-
but you have to, think about the new curriculum, it's gonna take 3 to 4 years before you see
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
a change. I mean, it just doesn't happen in 1 year, it's that consistency.
Is
Yeah.
there?
And what's happened in the past, that the curriculum's changed so much from the state, what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That too.
But
So any more questions on this?
Is there a way to look at years and compare?
We can, I don't know how far, I think Vistas only goes back to last year, unless they update, 'cause that's when they came out with Vistas was last year.
Oh, it's new.
Yeah, and then we didn't have any, during the pandemic, there were no scores, no, they just kept rolling over.
Mhm.
So there's really not any real data. I mean, we can go back last year, maybe the year before, but I'll check and see.
That way we can, oh no.
Yeah.
There's only 20, that's.
It's just last year, right?
24, so there's 22, 23.
23, and there's
I put
no,
mine to where I compare.
Right.
Okay.
right, yeah, so there's, yeah.
There's no data.
I think to me that they changed so much in math, like it's not like traditional where you're like, oh, like you put like the big number on top and then the little
Right.
number on the bottom and you subtract and you carry. Now they want you to like
Make all these little
group
boxes
things
and.
like
Oh, I
in
know.
tens
Yeah.
and 20s
Yeah.
and ones and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I think that's where like parents get confused, cause
And
for
kids,
me,
we get frustrated.
because we get
Yeah.
frustrated and they're like, no, you did it wrong. Like our teacher told us to do it this way. And I'm like, I think they're just putting too much work on you guys because we used to use it this way, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We got the same answer. Yeah.
You get more points if you show your work on the state testing,
Oh, okay.
so.
Oh, that's good enough. I'll be like, just scribble numbers, just kidding.
Make your boxes.
Alrighty, that was a good little presentation. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Item number 9, action items, discussion and possible action on purchase of new school bus.
Right, so we cannot use the bond money for this. We have money in SB 9. So we just want to see if that's the direction y'all want to go. Do you want us to use SB 9 money for that or not get a bus? I mean, and it's the shorter bus.
Well, it makes more sense when you're not taking as many kids.
Right.
24 passenger, that's
Yeah.
a good size.
It's still a good size, but that way you're not using the expense of that
Even like-
full-size bus.
Even like state tournaments, like when they only take varsity, that they can take that bus down, it could probably be easier on the driver too in town. Cause we used to hit curbs every turn, every right turn.
Hey, Go ask the girls
Or even
that
like those
this-
smaller trips, like if they're only taking like 8th graders or like C team, whatever it
If
is.
these teams aren't gonna be having
Yeah.
JV teams, it's gonna be just varsity
Yeah.
teams.
Maybe we can
So
push
like,
that
what did they
more.
use when they
Be more
took the
efficient too,
kids to
otherwise.
Ruidoso this weekend? What did they use?
I don't think they had, I think they're,
Yeah,
They
the
couldn't go
Suburban.
on a bus, right?
What's that?
To the quiz bowl, they didn't go on a bus, didn't they?
No, we took Suburban.
Suburbans.
Oh, my God.
But that is perfect though, but we would have taken the small bus.
That would've
Yeah.
been-
You know, because we could.
Except
Could've
you
spread
gotta
out a
have
little bit more.
the license for
CDL.
You'd have to have
Yeah.
a driver.
the bus. You have to have the driver.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because our bus driver drove to Suburban.
Yeah.
You know.
I just think we
Gives them a little more
I
space.
think we use it too, for sure.
So
We
just,
use that for our trips
Board-
too,
board
the
retreats.
board.
Yeah, we'll get paid and drive us to the board meetings.
yeah,
see that, get a driver, huh?
I think you use it a lot in the summertime.
Yeah.
Summer, you use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The summer stuff.
So if you want us to use the SB 9 monies, we just need a motion for that.
I'll make
Comes
a
with
motion.
AC and heater, and that's nice.
Yeah.
Unlike the other ones.
I'll go ahead and motion to accept the quote from Tillery for $145,650 to purchase, the microgrid activity plus.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Cole, seconded by Mrs. Escobar, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Move on to discussion and possible action on athletic event workers' pay.
So the athletic, the game pay and everything, it's been the same at least, I know since I've been here. I think Coach Hoover's has been 20 years.
And how much is it?
So right now it's $20 for volleyball, and then $30 for football. So 20 for everything except football, 30. So we're proposing to raise each one to $10.
$10 more?
And that's for like the work on the gates,
Right, working the gates, but,
scoreboard.
right, and so that's per game, so that's really,
And what does other schools look at?
they're similar,
Yeah, so
yeah,
we're probably similar with Cobra.
Okay.
Silver pays a little cheaper, but that's still.
well, but still cheaper
They're
than
getting
we are
our money
now.
From silver, that's like silver.
Let me record that for you, so I can send this to Patrick, the school board member.
Is
What did you
silver
say?
cheaper than what we are now?
What's that?
Is silver cheaper than what we are now?
Silver's,
Or the
well,
same as what we are
they're comparable now.
now? Yeah, so they're,
Um,
so
But they-
for a raise,
they
we
pay-
get more.
But they pay some positions a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Don't back out.
Getting
Yeah,
anything out of it.
It's hard to find gate workers and stuff.
Miss Rose is having a hard time finding people who want to do it.
Tell her that she has to work.
Yeah.
So one of those on there is
I'll let Johnny
for our
do it.
chain gang, and we never paid our chain gang.
Right, so we'll start paying the chain gang.
What the heck?
These used to be
They get a front row
volunteers.
seat.
Yeah.
We get
Free
the
admission, front row
stickers
seat.
and a bottle of water.
I see them walking across with the popcorn bag, so, hey.
Well, yeah, I think we're trying to steal that.
So $30 for volleyball games, 40 for football, and basketball is gonna be,
30, everything's gonna go up $10.
everything's $10?
Right, so it'd be 30 for basketball, softball, volleyball,
That's
baseball,
cool, 20.
40.
Just kidding.
Well, that's-
They did JV and varsity,
It's like
that's
a $40 raise
Yes.
per night.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
So
it's,
it's like, I was thinking 50 in my head.
I was
Makes
thinking
sense.
like overall, like, just,
It's perfect.
yeah, it's per game, so it can add up.
so, business lady.
Yeah,
You have money for that, just kidding. You've been quiet all night.
So we 30 per, so JV will be $60?
well, yeah, so like if they go do the basketball, and there's 3 basketball games, it's like JV, varsity, and then boys and girls, that would be 4 games, and it's all one night.
If we both,
So they would get
if we don't even get.
30
paid,
times
how
4
many-
is $120.
We'll be
After
volunteer.
taxes were taken.
Well,
Taking taxes.
taxes
Yeah,
come
that's
out,
right.
but it also goes toward their retirement.
That's why when we raise the, but once you get taxed there, it's like.
Yeah,
Yeah, $20 you
And-
get taxed.
And we have some loyal,
That do it all.
they've
really
been
do it,
doing it
and
for
it's-
many years.
I mean, and it's like, whenever we fall short where somebody doesn't make it, it's tough. So we're trying to like, hey.
And if we sign up, we don't get paid, right?
Okay.
Not as a board member.
Give us a little
Step
bit.
down.
Sorry.
I said,
What's
free, give us for free.
We will gladly accept your volunteers.
Go
Um,
ahead. Make a motion
Yeah.
to. I'll make a motion to increase the athletic event workers pay by $10 for each event.
Okay. And to add the chain gang.
And we will include the chain gang.
It just sounds.
Question on that.
chain gang.
yeah, I'm thinking like troublemakers, like, you know?
All those guys on the chain gang, they're already coaching on the staff.
Are they-
Already, right?
Are they staff already?
They don't get
They're-
paid.
But they don't get paid for the chain game. They
Well,
just,
most-
because it's a salary
Well, they're not
stipend.
the football coaches.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
the
stipend.
girls that do the gates are all school employees.
They're all
I'm saying
employees.
I'm not saying the gate, I'm saying
The chain.
Changing, they're already part of the district or the coaching staff's already.
Well, but every employee out there is part
Workers
of
and so on.
that. Yeah, yeah, everybody's part of that.
Yeah.
Everybody's.
Except for the refs, and even sometimes the refs. So it's not part of their original duty, then we,
And the refs are paid out for the NMAA, right?
well,
Or how does that work? 'Cause
we
are
pay them, but it's through that, what do you call it?
Dragonfly.
Fly.
And I got a couple refs that have told me that they're really grateful that we have the Dragonfly, because a lot of
Can
them,
we increase
Yeah,
it so they
no,
can start
a lot of
coming
them
more?
don't use
I
it.
pay, yeah, Dragonfly's nice because I'm.
Can we get two races?
I pay them.
They've already gotten immediately.
Oh.
They love
Paid
it.
a certain
Do they
amount.
get?
And it's helped us a lot getting rescued.
Okay, we're all like talking
Yeah,
about on
they
top
like
of each
being
other,
paid
so
right.
let's.
Oh, yeah, let's get back to that. Sorry.
No, I just wanna make sure like the refs are not, like if they're included in this or
No,
or
there's
sort of something else, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, something different.
Do they get mileage as well? Okay.
Base.
There's only one of them get it.
No,
But
Do they all get it now?
They all get it now.
Oh, they switched it in recently. They used to get, one driver would get it, but now they switched to, they don't get as much, but they all get it.
Oh, okay.
there's a motion on the floor.
Motion, yeah, sorry, I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
like we're not missing anybody that's not getting paid.
Right.
That's why I brought up the refs. But I'll go ahead and second the motion that Ms. Cole had put on the floor.
Motion by Mrs. Cole, seconded by Mrs. Esquivel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And that concludes all of our business for today.
6:55.
Okay.
Thanks for the raise.
Yes.